The tunnel in the ground seems to know that I intend to enter. The whispering is coming from the depths increases, becomes a fog-like shivering and rattling around the back of my head. I sit myself down on the tunnel's edge, and with one last deep breath, I push myself off the side and drop down into the dark. The hard plastic of the tunnel carries me down and around the corner like a slide. Down it goes, turning this way and that before steadily leveling out. I grunt and readjust myself as I slow to a stop. The tunnel is rather claustrophobic, but it's fine. I've been down here before. I have to turn onto my front on my hands and knees. I do so, and I crawl forwards for about 2 minutes or so before rounding one last corner. Ahead of me, at the end of the tunnel, is a narrow pinprick of pale purple light, same shade to the light in the mall upstairs. I mutter to myself, pushing down the fear, and continue my crawling, knees aching as I do so. You gotta be more careful, Matthew, I think to myself, chiding myself for being so careless. And let this sort of thing happen again. This was too many kids, by far. The purple light at the end of the tunnel grows a little brighter. The view into the world beyond becomes clear. I can't hear any of the teenagers, I realize, which is not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. My heart is pounding. I'm not supposed to be down here. No one is supposed to be down here. And yet, here we are. Pull yourself together, I think. Let's get this over with. Abby might be down here. Despite what Avery said, she might still be down here with her friends. And I clamber out of the tunnel's exit and into the place that lies beyond. Beyond and beneath. I stand in a room with blue-green peeling walls, scuffed floors. It's kinda like the Tartarus store, only with a different color scheme. And there are no mannequins. No creepy-ass mannequins with the names and initials written all over their faces. The windows ahead are not boarded up, and there is no metal sheet over the door that leads out. I glance behind me. The tunnel does not go down into the floor, of course. It instead carries on in a straight line and disappears through the back wall. I return my gaze to the room's front door and stride towards it, heading out, and into the plain beyond. Goosebumps shiver up my skin as I step through the door and look around, reminding myself of the layout. I stand in a mirror reflection of the mall upstairs. It changes and warps the further from the tunnel's exit you go. But here, for now, I stand more or less in the center of a copy of the mall. A copy with a few key differences, of course. As always, there is that faint, almost imperceptible music. Orchestral, sad, but beautiful. You have to strain to hear it, but it is there. It's always there. Sounds like it's always on the verge of a crescendo that never comes. My surroundings and I are bathed in that same purplish light, but there is no moon on this side. No stars are visible through the glass above. There is only pitch black. It isn't clear where the light comes from, exactly. It just seemed to hang in the air. I turn around. The Tartarus store stands behind me, though it isn't called Tartarus on this side. It's called Gaia. And whilst the mirrors are empty and free from displays of any kind, they are not boarded up. There was no metal sheet I had to lift to get out. The door is unlocked and easily accessible. Whilst at first glance the surrounding stores seem familiar and plain, close inspection of each reveal that they are anything but. There is no English used down here. The letters might appear to be recognizable if you skim your eyes past them, but the storefronts are covered in no native language of mine. It's nothing but strange symbols and unusual lines and shapes. My footsteps echo as I walk the length of the mall's center hall, closer to the fountain and the statue upon it. It's not a horse on this side. It's an enormous coiled snake, white marble, lidless, staring eyes. And sitting atop of it, I jump in shock and swear to myself under my breath. He's often lurking around down here, but he's never in the same place. He's a frightful fucker too, to put it lightly.
Hello, Minos.
Comes the voice of the figure sat upon the snake's head, like a hiss, almost. The voice is smooth, yet unsettling. Good evening, Typhoon. I reply steadily, composing myself and looking up at him. You're looking handsome tonight. Typhoon has tonight chosen the form of myself. Sitting up on top of the snake is a copy of me. Though, as with them all, the copy is twisted. Typhoon's copy of me is pure white, and when I say that, I mean everything. The hair, the skin, the clothes, all are mist-like, ghostly white. All except for the eyes. There is no color in the eyes, just void black. Typhoon grins and flickers out his tongue like a snake's. He cocks his head at me.
You made a tragic mistake tonight, haven't you, Minos?
Typhoon does not know my name. It's safer that way, and I intend to keep it as such. He knows that it begins with an M, however, and he chooses to refer to me as Minos. A mistake, sure. I don't intend for it to be tragic, though. We all make mistakes.
Some more than others.
Typhoon replies, licking his teeth. He does not blink. There is a pause. I'd best be looking for them then, I say, doing my best to sound casual. I imagined you saw where they all went.
I did. I saw where they went.
And I don't suppose you're going to tell me, are you?
When did I become so predictable?
Typhoon replies with a stretched, white grin. I mutter in response. All right. Well, I'll be seeing you then, Typhoon. I started walking around the statue of the snake on its fountain. I watched in my peripheral vision as Typhoon creeped like a lizard across the statue's head.
Have you thought some more about the offer I made you, Minos?
Typhoon asks, his voice dropping and the hiss in his throat becoming more prominent.
It will save you a great deal of trouble. Little further down the line.
I doubt that, I reply, looking directly ahead and leaving the statue of the snake behind me. And as before, my answer is no.
Well, the offer stands. I do hope you change your mind.
I hear the sound of Typhoon scuttling down the marble of the statue. I shoot a quick glance over my shoulder, but he has already vanished. And when I'm sure he's gone, I breathe just a little easier. It may not seem like it, but Typhoon scares me more than most down here. He was in a good mood tonight. I continue on along my way, aware that the clock is ticking, ears straining for any hint of the group, listening intently for any clattering, speaking, or screaming to accompany the faint orchestral music. I think hard. The kid in the oversized white sweater, the ringleader of this little group. What was it that the duo upstairs said his name was? Bryce. And Bryce's older brother is the guy named Rex. A nighttime alcoholic, by their accounts, and the owner of the key Bryce used to get them all down here. This troubles me greatly. Ignorance is bliss. I know more now than I had wanted to. So Rex is likely one of my mysterious colleagues, another one of these shift workers, the tragic guardians of Tartarus. It fits, given the existence of the R initials scrawled across many of the mannequin upstairs, and this colleague of mine has supposedly been careless with his key. Stupid bastard, I mutter, though my heart goes out to him. And now his brother is down here in the depth, maybe with Abby. I increase my pace. If I'd heard stories about this place from an older brother, though drunk ramblings, I guess, where would I want to go first? If I was some stupid kid? A couple of potential answers came to mind, and I settled on one, adjusting my course and heading to the right. I pass beneath the silent, watchful gaze of the eerie storefronts on either side. The color schemes, all washed in violet, of course, seems vaguely familiar in one's peripheral vision. but when you turn to look directly at them, well, as I said, they ain't anything recognizable, dreamlike, nonsensical. I can hear voices ahead, male and female, kid voices. It's them, alright. I start jogging. I round the next corner. In the mall upstairs, the actual mall, I guess. This right here would be one of the mall's exits. The corridor leads to a large bookstore, and if you walk right through the center, then you leave into one of the parking lots. You can see the exit from one of the store's entrances. Down here, however, beneath Tartarus, the bookstore does not lead to an exit. It only leads into more corridors of the mall. There are no windows. There are glass panes in the walls, sure, but they only give you a view back into the mall, not to the outside. The layout starts getting weirder from here, more labyrinth-like, less Euclidean, if it pleases you. In the center of the bookstore is another feature that is missing in one of the upstairs. In the center of the bookstore is another feature that is missing in the one upstairs. A giant carved titan. It cowers with one hand above its monstrous face, snarled in rage and fear. As with the snake, and I suppose with the horse, it appears to be made of white marble, and it is so huge that it takes up the bulk of the room's center. Even the escalators do not rise above the top of its head. The teenagers are in here. There are 7 of them, as Liam and Avery had suggested there would be. There's Bryce, the oversized white sweater guy. There's 2 from the initial group, a boy and a girl, and 4 new ones. I am relieved to see that Abby is not with them though, and it appears that Avery may have told me the truth. It does concern me though. Bryce might have told Abby about this place, about Tartarus, and whether she would have believed any of it. And if she did, whether she connected any of it to myself. Upon my arrival, they all turned to me at once, high off of the energy of doing something you're not supposed to do. The feverish excitement of being in some place secretive and strange. None of them have any idea what sort of danger they're in. I can see it in their faces. None, except for Bryce, maybe. I come to a stop, and we regard each other, them and I. Do they know, kid? I ask him, after a beat, careful not to use his name. Do they know the danger that you put them all in tonight? I look them over, and don't use each other's names. If you call each other by your real names down here, then you might not get back up. There are creatures down here that are always listening. What's he talking about, Bryce? One of the girls asked him, the excitement faltering in her demeanor. For fuck's sake! I bellow, striding forward. They back up against the base of the statue of the Titan. What did I just say? What the hell is wrong with teenagers? Why are you all so goddamn thoughtless? I jab a finger into the girl's face. I appreciate that she's just a girl and I'm a grown man, and the gesture must have come across as quite frightening. But frankly, I don't particularly care. My priority is getting them all out of here. I said, no names! No names! Do not use my name! If you happen to know it, do not use your friends' names, or else you might get stuck down here forever! I grab Rice's collar and swing him around, throwing him a little ways towards the bookstore's entrance, back towards the mall corridor, the way we came. You put your friends in danger tonight, I tell him. Now you can think of a way to apologize to them as we head back to the entrance. Fuck off, old man! Bryce replies, snarling at me. Bryce! Murmurs the girl behind me in shock. I spin around. If I have to tell you one more goddamn time! Leave her alone! Bryce shouts. We're not going with you! We all knew the risk coming down here. We're not leaving until we completed our mission! What the hell are you talking about, kid? I reply, exasperated. Why are you so intent on being down here? Just let me do my job, for Christ's sake. I'm getting real tired of this shit. Why are you so stubborn? This isn't a place for some dumb teenage urban exploration. We're not urban exploring, you miserable old fuck, Bryce replies, folding his arms and fuming. My brother gets sicker every day, he says. I won't say his name, but you know who I mean. He's worked at the mall for so long. So long. I don't know why he doesn't just quit already. Contracts last 3 years, I murmured. He can quit at the end of every 3-year period, if he wanted to. Then why doesn't he? Bryce replies, yelling. Why does he put himself through it? Again and again and again. And what the hell even is this place? He puts his head in his arms, and then throws them out wide. It's all real. It's all real. I thought it was drugs. I thought my brother might be wasting away him on crack then. But the more I researched, the more I stalked and watched. It's all real. Tartarus. He paused, gathers himself. My friends came down here with me voluntarily. They trust me because I trust them. There's a murmur of determined agreement from behind me, from the little gathering. Bryce's eyes flash. And if it's all real, that means the typhoon is real. And it's his fault. It's all his fault. The air in the corners of my vision begin to shimmer slightly. A book on a nearby table stand starts to shake. Kid, I say, carefully and quietly. I walk forward and try to usher him onwards. It's time to go. He shoves me away, and his friends go to stand by his side, staring back at me, some anxiously, some defiantly. It's Typhoon's fault that my brother is stuck in this job. I'm not sure exactly how, but I know it must be his fault, and I know he's evil. So we're going to find him and we're going to kill him. I cannot help a panicked laugh escaping my throat. It seemed to rile Bryce up even further. Kid, what? What are you saying? You think you'd be able to kill Typhoon? You think you'd be able to, even if it were possible? This is insane. Unless you want to put your disappearance on your brother's already burdened conscience, then go! Go back to the entrance, all of you! A voice from above cuts through our clamor like ice. It's a disconnected fragment of a sentence, chilling in its lack of context. The voice is neither male nor female, raspy and cold. I know what I will see before even looking up. It's one of Typhoon's playthings. We're steadily running out of time here. The eyes of the kids before me go wide with terror as they look up to the ceiling. I crane my neck unenthusiastically. Above us is the plaything in question. It has the rough form of a human, like Typhoon, entirely white. Unlike Typhoon, however, the thing has no eyes, no features on its head at all, actually. No face, no hair, no ears, just a blank canvas. It has one large mouth in the center of its chest. The mouth puckers and salivates as it creeps across the ceiling. It moves tentatively, but surely, like a spider. It has no legs, but instead boasts 6 arms. 2 from where you would expect, 2 from the joints where its legs should be, and 2 from the hips. It is an abomination, and abominations are aplenty down here. What the fuck is that? The boy to Bryce's right asks. The boy from upstairs, adorned in a blue hoodie. That is our cue to leave, I reply, pushing them towards the entrance. Is this all of you? There's no one else? Just you 7? Most of them are stricken by the monster overhead, but 2 of them nod at me in response. Hisses the creature.
I would love a game. Lone flower in the cold field.
His ramblings are lost to a general murmur as I quickly draw the door to the bookstore closed behind us. Bryce gathers himself. He glares at me with a purpose and a determination well beyond his years. I came here for a reason. There are worse things than Typhoon down here. My brother talks in his sleep. He mumbles when he's wasted. I know what needs to be done. I'm not afraid. And the kid pushes right past me. He slams open the bookstore door and races right through the doors on the opposite side. Blue hoodie goes with him. One of the new girls goes as well. I've got your back, man! The boy shouts as he joins his comrade. We're with you! The girl cries. You idiots! You'll never see the daylight again! I roar after them, painfully conscious of Typhoon's plaything, scuttling across the shelves above and after them. I swivel back to the rest of the group. My chest tightens. Fine, they want to disappear so badly, then so be it. Fuck them. Anyone else who wants to die down here in the dark? I am met with stricken silence. Good, then let's go! I grab two of them and start to run back through the mall, but I let them go after a few seconds. They're all running with me this time. Back through the corridors, back past the statue of the snake. I glance up. Typhoon himself has vanished. He could be anywhere now. We stumble forward to the entrance of Gaia. In you go, I pant, grimacing as I catch my breath and stretch out one of my legs. Back through the tunnel. One of the girls turns to me. She's from the original group that I saw upstairs, curly black hair. But what about... She stops herself. What about the others? We can't just leave them. I clench my jaw. They made their choice. I ain't their babysitter. She grabs me by the sleeve. Please, sir. Please, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry we made you come down there, and I'm sorry we all thought it was a good idea, but you can't just leave them. I look at the faces of the kids before me, hesitating. He'll never give up, says one of the boys. Never. If you don't go after him, then he's going to die. Please, we're sorry. I blow some air through my nose. I ain't giving you my key, I tell them. And if I go up to unlock the Tartarus door for you, then by the time I get back down here, it'll be too late. If I go after them, then who knows what'll happen. There's no telling when I'll be back. You might have to wait for the next person on shift to come and let you out. That's not so bad, one of the boys replies bravely. Bravely or foolishly. How long would that be? I glance at my watch. 2.5 hours or so. Well, that's not so bad. Perhaps not, but... I pause. But what? The girl with curly hair replies. But whoever comes to let you out will be bound to the rules, just like myself. 1. Watch Tartarus. 2. Don't let anyone in. 3. Don't let anyone out. But there's no telling whether or not they'd actually let you out. I finish simply. We're not supposed to let anyone out, and the longer you stay in Tartarus and the realm below, the worse it gets. There's a long silence, and the kids looked at each other. An unspoken agreement passes between them. Guys? Curly asks, and the others nod. He turns back to me. Please, we can wait. Just go after them. I consider their request, and then swear quietly. Fuck's sake. I point to the tunnel. Head up anyway. I don't want you creeping around down here. Head up to Tartarus and wait for me there. I start jogging away again, back through the mall. I turn to look over my shoulder and I jab a finger at them. Hurry, and don't touch the damn mannequins! And as they scurry back to the tunnel, I let out a heavy sigh and carry onwards, through the purplish light of the world below. For better or for worse, God